Hey everybody, it's Robert Alaniz and Johnny B. We're here on episode 53 to talk about the FTD vinyl releases. You know, I've been wanting to talk about them for a long time. I mean, oh my God, it's 53 shows now. So I've always wanted to do a show where it was a good subject matter. And, I just kind of put it off until I thought the time was right. Now, I know we've talked about FTDs before because we did a show where we talked about all the crazy releases in Europe.
Wax Time, Music on Vinyl. God, there's so many more. I can't even. Some of the names I don't know. I know them if I see them, but I mean, there's a large.
Well, and now there's the Memphis Mansion.
The Joe Pizzata, the Memphis Recording Service.
And
there's others. There's all kinds of there's some other ones too. There's a lot. That's the European market, though. You know, I mean,
because of the fact that the public domain thing is different in Europe.
Yeah.
We're at 2025, so that means that Elvis's recordings up to 75 are fair game now to the bootleggers, and they can do anything they want with them. I remember years ago when I think it was in the late 90s, because FTD started when? In
1999.
1999. I remember when somebody said, well, you know what, they're going to release the concerts. And I thought, well, they've already been released. There's Aloha, there's Madison Square Garden, there's Live in Memphis. I had no idea that they recorded almost every Elvis concert. And when someone told me that, I said, you got to be joking. That's crazy. So what does that mean? That means they're going to release every concert? I says, I doubt it. Well, folks, I guess I was wrong, because they've pretty much done that. And I'm talking, of course, about Sony BMG or FTD. But the crazy thing is now the public domain situation has changed. So now everybody can go after the concerts. You know, a good question would be, where in the world do some of these places get the original masters?
I don't know.
Before, remember in the bootlegs in the 90s, it was just...
Well, a lot of them were audience recordings. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, some of those labels, and they weren't very good. You know,
right?
So they weren't. But now I don't know where I don't know.
I mean, there was remember Fort Baxter?
Yeah.
There was Fort Baxter. There was the Diamond Anniversary series. Now there's vinyls of those CDs, like where they put out the vinyl, and then they put the CD in with the vinyl. Yeah. I remember when we talked about this before, about the DOLs and everything, I thought it was kind of cool. Chicas. You know, I thought, well, these are kind of cool.
Well, that's why I like them. Yeah. That's why I bought them, because I like them. But
that's before the insanity began. That was the beginning of the insanity. Then it turned out that DOL and the other ones, they decided, well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to re-release these things.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put them on colored vinyl. I always said the company that set the bar was the Follow That Dream series. Today I want to talk about the vinyl. But I want to talk about the history of the vinyl according to Robert Alaniz and Johnny B. Because we're going to tell you how it happened, or how we found out about this stuff from the very beginning, and from the mouth of one Roger Seaman, who used to come to the shows in Memphis, and you remember that?
Yeah.
Ernst would come in and walk through the show, and we'd always talk with him about what the new CD was going to be for Ernst. The show we did was at the Peabody. Roger and Ernst stayed there.
Yeah.
And now this was before the hotel opened, the guest house, and down from Graceland. So I don't know if they still stay at the Peabody or not, but that's where they stayed. And when we were doing the show, we were fortunate enough where we could stay there too. So there was this downstairs area in the lobby where we would go, and everybody would go and meet down there and have drinks and talk. And every once in a while, from up where we were, you could look down into the lobby where the Ducks would march and come in. And every once in a while, towards the evening, you would see celebrities. I mean, we saw Priscilla Presley walk through there. I think we saw Lisa Marie walk through there.
Yeah, Riley Keough.
Riley Keough. And of course, the bigger dealers, the more popular dealers would end up down there. Ian McQuillan was always there. He would always come in for drinks, and he would be there with his friends.
I ran into James Burton in the elevator.
Right, James Burton.
I got there, and there's James Burton standing there.
Right,
hey,
and the band. I mean, the TCB band were at the Peabody too, so it was really cool. Roger and Ernst would come into the show, and we would talk. And of course, at the time, there was no vinyl. We're going back just before the vinyl. And I would always talk to Ernst and praise him about the CDs. And it was the thing. The CDs was everything. And I remember being the big roustabout, fan that I am. I kept saying, when are we going to get Roustabout on CD? When is that going to happen? And I remember Ernst telling us over and over again, remember? He says, well, there just isn't enough.
Yeah, there's not enough material.
There's not enough outtakes. We heard it somewhere through the grapevine that they were going to do the first vinyl, Blue Hawaii. And, I thought, oh, that was kind of cool. And so I asked Ernst about it, and Ernst said that Roger was in charge of the vinyl. So I remember asking Roger, I said, so what's this? You guys are going to release albums now? And he said, yeah, what we want to do is we want to release the American albums, maybe give them new covers and
reimagined
the original releases. He did say the U.S. releases. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He said the U.S. releases. And that's how it started. So, of course, Blue Hawaii came out, and we all bought it. We got to a point where we would talk to Roger, and we would say, so, what's next? What's the next release? And sometimes he would tell us, and sometimes he wouldn't. But he did tell us the rule. He said, we can't release anything on vinyl until it's released on CD. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. And what we did was we kind of knew that there was a pretty big CD library. So we were always thinking, oh, cool. Well, then eventually this is going to hit vinyl and this is going to hit vinyl, whatever. And then, of course, the second release, Standing Room Only, came out. So I bought every one whenever it came out. And I know you did too. And like I said, in Memphis, at the Peabody, we would always see Roger. I remember one time, when we were upstairs in the show, and you said, I'm going to go downstairs and see if I can find Roger.
I always tried to ask him what was coming out next, if he'd give us a hint of what was coming out next. And like I said, sometimes he would tell us, and sometimes he says, I can't reveal what, something's coming out.
Did he ever come out and say what was?
Yeah, there was a couple of times. I think he told us.
But after a while,
I think he told us From Elvis in Memphis was coming, but he said we didn't change the cover because it was too iconic. He said we just played with the colors. I
remember in the Peabody when we rented out the larger banquet room. It wasn't the grand ballroom, but it was one of the bigger ballrooms. And we had heritage auctions. They were doing an auction in there. And I remember Roger coming in and saying that the new Good Times was out. And he wanted to show it to us. We got to know him so well that, he actually brought us free copies, remember?
Yeah.
When I saw the Good Times album, I thought it was interesting because it still kind of looked like Good Times, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's up behind us,
he didn't
too.
change the front cover.
Yeah, he didn't really change it. But what was interesting is he put the back cover as it originally was intended.
Yeah.
With the balloons and everything on the back. He did that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I think when that happened, that's when I came up with the idea where I said, well, if you guys ever do Moody Blue, then have you ever seen the original design for the Moody Blue cover? I said, you would drive collectors nuts if they could actually get the FTD Moody Blue album as it was intended. And we just found out that Standing Room Only, that cover is what was the intended cover. And I was hoping he would do that with Moody Blue, but he never did it. Instead, he had a different picture on Moody Blue, but he did use the title. So the top of it matched the original. So I think that was the thing that I really liked about the FTDs. Every time a new album of Follow That Dream came out, it was like going to the store and seeing the album for the first time. It was like reliving my childhood, what got me excited about collecting in the first place. I never really listened to too many of them. I mean, I opened up my Roustabout when it came out, Cover was still pretty much the same, but they did alter it a bit.
It was a different picture.
Yeah, they put a different background. They took out the artwork, I think. And I opened it up and I listened to it. I wanted to hear how it sounded and everything. But correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't all the music on the vinyl, isn't it the same?
It's the CDs.
Music that's on the CD.
Yes. It's just they just take highlights and put it on the vinyl.
I mean, maybe give or take a song.
Yeah, I don't think. No, yeah, I think the vinyl are just from the CDs.
Because I don't remember anybody saying, the record's got
totally different. No,
more cuts.
It's the same as what's on the CD.
So, when things started changing, like with the European labels and everything. I understand that, maybe it was an executive decision that they had to do that, like Fun and Acapulco, when that came out, changing, taking Nipper off and all that. And I know I brought this up before, but it's just a little pet peeve of mine.
I don't mind Harem Holiday and California Holiday because I kind of like those titles. If they said we're only going to do 2 on the European title, which ones would you want? Those are the 2 I would have done.
Right, because the titles are different.
Yeah, its titles, it was kind of cool. I'm very disappointed with Girl Happy
that should have
European.
Been,
I'm sorry, I don't like
cover.
It.
Which gets back another thing that Roger used to say. When we first met him, he told me there was a thrill of going to the store back in the 60s and seeing the new Elvis album, seeing the artwork for the first time and this and that. And he told me that he wanted to try to capture that.
Well, the covers were the same, but the vinyl was different. The label was different. I mean, the covers were all the same in Europe as the American.
Right.
It's just that the number was different and they had the different logo and that's all, a different number. They weren't LSP, but the front covers were all the same, the back. They were the same as the American. Mm-hmm. It's just that, the logo was different and everything. It's okay. I like these, like I said, these 2 latest ones. Of course, they did FTDs here that were never American albums. There was never a Viva Las Vegas album.
No, but that was cool that
they did that. The Jungle Room Sessions.
Right.
Hot August Night. I know you hate the cover, and it's not my favorite cover either, but, that was a live concert they did. See, you don't like Standing Room Only. I like it because there never was a Standing Room Only, and I like the Blue Hawaii. It's a much better, great picture of Elvis on Blue Hawaii. That's the way it is. I love That's the Way It Is. Totally, a different picture. I like that one very much. Elvis's Back Sessions. I like the picture they put on that. I only have a few complaints.
Well, let's talk about the complaint.
Okay, well then I brought this one, but I never really understood this one. I love the music, but he's sitting in a car. Wasn't this the Felton Jarvis stuff? I thought this even has the Elvis medley on there. I just realized this has the Elvis medley. Yeah. So this one.
I think you're looking at that should be the cover.
Yeah, that should, Although I think, again, didn't they take the cigar out of his mouth? He had a cigar in his mouth.
In the original photo.
In the photo. They airbrushed it out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So this was one of my least favorites that I didn't like.
Yeah.
He said Elvis Country I wasn't too thrilled about.
Yeah, you know why? Because they changed it from a baby picture
to about
a high school
picture of 17 or 18 years old, maybe. Right around the time we went to Sun, I think.
It wasn't a great cover.
And then I didn't understand His Hand in Mine and How Great Thou Art. They didn't change.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell
I
that
have
was
no
all
idea.
about.
I didn't understand.
They were the same covers.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done with How Great Thou Art? The picture on the back cover?
Yeah, put it on the front.
That you put on the front cover, and then How Great Thou Art. Now that would have been a great cover. But again, they made those decisions, like the Moody Blue. They could have used the original Slick, but instead they didn't. As a matter of fact, when they announced they were going to do the reissues, and we'll talk about that soon enough, I thought, maybe they're going to do the Moody Blue, and they're going to finally put the original cover as it was intended. Yeah. Wrong. Yeah. Instead, what did they do? They used was it the same picture?
Same picture on the gold. You mean on the gold sparkle?
Yeah, and then they put the gold,
but they made it gold on the cover.
There.
They did change it,
and then they did it like sparkle vinyl. And I think I showed it on the show once, and I'm looking to find the sparkles, and I couldn't find any sparkles on my vinyl. But so your worst cover has got to be that one.
Too much monkey business.
Too much monkey business.
I never understood that cover at all.
All right.
Yeah, that's probably
let me see that list.
Yeah.
So
overall, I like them. I don't have major complaints. I like the label, and I don't like.
Yeah, well, you're an addict.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so the ones that I thought weren't all that great. So here's my opinion. Okay, basically it's Standing Room Only. Jungle Room is fine. Jailhouse Rock is fine, although it's a copy of the album cover from South Africa, and it's also the it's also the EP. Viva Las Vegas is great because we didn't have a Viva. How Great Thou Art was a waste. Guitar Man is cool, which is right here. Potluck Sessions.
Well,
the picture was okay. I think they could have come up with a better picture. Elvis is back. A great picture. His Hand in Mine. Yeah. Why? Again, why? Promised Land, the companion album.
Yeah.
I wasn't too thrilled with the picture.
Yeah.
Hell, I would have just used the original Promised Land photo and then just, make changes from there.
From the artwork.
That's the way it is. It's awesome. I agree. Elvis Country, GI Blues is great. I like the blue cover. I thought it was great. On Stage is great. Recorded live on stage in Memphis is okay.
It was an actual picture though from the concert, I believe.
Yeah. No, you're right.
From
you're
Memphis, right. from the one of the Memphis shows.
Right. And sometimes it's hard to come up with a great picture from the actual concert. From Elvis in Memphis is okay. Back in Memphis.
Yeah, that was kind of.
It's not really a great picture of him. I think they could have come up with a better one. Stay Away Joe.
It was never a Stay Away Joe album, so it was kind of
cool. I mean, I liked the picture and everything. Hot August Night.
Yeah, you didn't like.
Thumbs down. Hot August Night. Oh God, I hate that cover. Something for Everybody Sessions.
That was
pretty.
That was
all right. Yeah. Elvis, That American Sound, perfect. Yeah. Moody Blue. He Touched Me actually was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was a concert shot.
I'm not sure why they used the concert shot. They could have, again, used a traditional picture of Elvis Presley from maybe another photo shoot somewhere. But they used a concert shot, so it was all right. King Creole was great.
Yeah.
And wasn't that the first colored vinyl?
Yes, and it was a single pocket, too.
Single pocket. Yeah, the first single pocket.
That was the only one.
And it was clear. Elvis Today is okay.
Yeah.
Speedway I like.
Yeah, Speedway
I
is
love
nice.
what they did with Speedway. Roustabout was good. Fool is good. Last Movies I love. Jailhouse Rock Volume 2 seemed redundant.
Yeah.
And it was what? The picture from the 45. Cafe Europa, redundant.
Yeah.
Not a bad looking cover, but redundant. No. Kissin' Cousins, thumbs up. Sings Memphis, Tennessee, thumbs up. Love Letters was a great shot. Tickle Me was great because there never was a Tickle Me album.
Yeah.
Easy Come, Easy Go was awesome. And it was awesome because it was kind of like a reproduction of that Australian EP.
Yeah, the EP, yeah.
Good Times is...
another one?
That's another one I like. Now here's when things start going weird. Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah. Well,
They switched the label and they switched it and made it European. Raised on Rock was cool. Kid Galahad. Wasn't there a better picture? World's Fair, pretty good.
Yeah, World's Fair.
You know why? Because it's Elvis's Gold Records Volume 3 from Japan.
From Japan shots.
That was great.
Yeah.
Great idea. From Elvis Presley Boulevard, this is where things, again, got a little wacko. Because, first of all, it came out on colored vinyl, right? Like a blue. And it was a Graceland exclusive.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that came out. That was okay. I wasn't too thrilled with the picture. It was all right. It wouldn't have hurt if they kept the original photo and then maybe showed more of the photo, uncropped. Then from Elvis Presley Boulevard on black vinyl. If that wasn't a money grab, I don't know what was.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't even get it. If that was the way it was supposed to be, okay, then I would have got it. But there was this special blue ones. I don't need both of them, so I kept the blue one, got rid of the black one. Then, of course, then things went goofy again with Fun in Acapulco.
The cover's beautiful.
It's a beautiful cover. Great shot. California Holiday, I'm okay with. I like the cover, and based on your logic, like with Harem Holiday, it's okay. It's okay that they did it because that's the way it was in Europe. So I don't mind seeing the logo.
So the back too. The back's different too, and the back is cool too. The back's different.
Yeah, the back is different, which is cool. Yeah. So I don't mind this at all. It's okay. Didn't they reverse the picture?
Yeah, I think because I don't know if it was because they wanted to put the font.
Which photo was reversed? Was it the U.S. and this is the correct way, or
I don't know.
Is it the other way around?
I've seen the picture two different ways. I think it was because where they wanted to put the font, I guess. So they like I said, this picture is reversed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course, Girl Happy, which we already talked about, beautiful, beautiful cover. But then they did the Arce Victor. Then of course, the one that we talked about many times, Moody Blue Gold, Gold Sparkle. That was crazy, and that started the controversy. Okay, well, what are they going to do? Are they going to go down the road of like the DOL road, and they're going to start reissuing all of their own stuff? We'll talk about that in a minute, but that was like the word that was going around. Everybody was talking about that. Like, God, I hope they don't do this. They're not going to reissue over and over again. Now we have that trend, the exact trend that we talked about, a few shows back, and then it sparked kind of this, social media conversation of everybody saying, "Oh, I missed the first ones. I didn't get them, so I'm so excited that they're redoing them." Now, if you're a collector and you were fortunate to grab the first ones when they came out, like we did, we got Blue Hawaii, we got all the originals, and we followed it throughout the years. As far as collecting goes, the value of those went up because they were limited to, like you said, 2,000, right? So naturally, they were going to go up. If Blue Hawaii is worth $500 to $800, then that's the way it is. No pun intended. I have to admit, there's a certain pride in my collection when I have a 1254 in a baggie, and I can sit with that album, and I know that 10 years, 20 years from now, it's going to be worth more. The FTDs, of course, were going that way. And they still are. I mean, still people pay big money. I mean, I saw, standing room only, some guy wants $1,200 for it in Europe. If he gets it, he gets it. But it speaks for its rarity. The thing that got me about the announcement about this reissue was that they must have been listening to social media, because in the promotion, they say something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing, due to the fact that a lot of people weren't able to get the first albums and the high cost of these albums, we wanted to make them available to those people. And that's what got me. Well, because that means, folks, get ready.
They're going to do more.
They're going to do more. I would not be surprised as the next one is Blue Hawaii, or the next one is Jungle Room. They're going to go and they're going to reissue them, and they're going to put them on colored vinyl, and the prices will probably go up. They're going to be expensive. They're going to certainly be expensive, more expensive than when Blue Hawaii first came out, because I think we paid $40 for it, right? When it first was released.
They were like $39.99.
Right, when they came out.
Yeah.
Well, now, what's the new one going to be?
Well, it's weird because the prices are all over. This Harem Holiday was $80, but Good Times is $70. Okay, this was $79.99 on Graceland, and Good Times is $69.99.
Well, do you think that was because of the fact that it's a reissue? They lowered it?
Well, I'll say this. I love the cover. I love the new Good Times. I love it more than this one, the original. But I don't understand the concept because they're not reproducing the old one. This Good Times has inner sleeves, and it's on black vinyl with a black sticker. The new one is totally different. So how does that help you when you say, I got the new Good Times, but you still need the originals?
Yeah, because
you don't have it.
You're talking about the completist.
The completist.
And the completist, like you.
If you still want...
You're going to get every single one. All right, but remember, they know that. Just like DOL and the other companies that said, well, you know what, if we put it out, let's put it out again, and there's no new content, but we'll slightly change the cover and we'll put it on a colored vinyl. Because let's face it, colored vinyl is the big trend now. I've been dealing Elvis Presley records for close to going on 45 years or more. I've seen trends, all these different trends throughout the years. There's been many, many, many trends. But the big trend now, as far as producing newer albums, is colored vinyl. Everybody does it. Paul McCartney, like you were saying, Paul McCartney put out, all his albums on colored vinyl. And of course, Carol got every one. it's like they're taking advantage of a person's addiction or a person's obsession or whatever polite word you want to use. But they're taking advantage of people. You are not a high income person.
No.
You don't make
I'm a working class guy.
crap load of money, okay? No. You are not a millionaire. No. You are not the kind of person that can go out and buy anything and everything that comes out.
No.
And we know some people that will do that.
Yeah.
Won't mention any names, but there's some that if they put out Elvis's greatest shit on vinyl and made it brown shit colored vinyl, they would buy it. We know those people, and they would pay $100 for it. You know what? I might have just gave them an idea.
It's called capitalism.
Well,
money. Yeah, they're making money.
But it's taking advantage of an addiction. You know, there's many ways to look at it. Of course, we could all sit back and go, it's just the way it is. You watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
If you've got blue meth and you've got a way to use less quality, all you need to do is color it blue, but your addict doesn't know he's getting cheated, right? He's going to pay it because he's addicted. For those who watch Breaking Bad, I think there's episodes like that where somebody faked the blue meth and it didn't work because they weren't getting as high, but they still bought it.
I don't buy everything, but I understand. Again, I understand. I just don't understand when they're saying we want to help the fans, who didn't get the original Good Times or Standing Room Only and all these Blue Hawaii and all, but you're still not getting it.
But they're doing it because
you're getting a reissue.
Hey, I didn't buy the first 1254 in a baggie when it came out, but if I get my hands on one, I'll gladly pay $1,000 for it, even if I got to save up like you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to save up for a mint, if you had the opportunity to get a mint 1254 in the baggie for $1,000, which by the way would be a deal, wouldn't you start saving your money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so that's the logic. That's the whole point of it. But once you start putting out the reissues and everything, what does it do to the value of that first one?
Well, we'll find out. It'll be interesting when if they do Standing Room or Blue Hawaii or Jungle, if they're going to change those covers as well. You know, that's what I'm waiting to see.
They will.
If they're going to change those. And of course, they'll be colored vinyl.
They'll be colored vinyl, you know it.
I mean, like I said, I love the new Good Times. I'm going to get it. I like it more than the song. It's got the cover from the 45.
They have not done Paradise Hawaiian style.
No.
What else?
Well, I'm a completist, so you may not. I want the NBC TV special.
Okay.
I want Aloha from Hawaii with obviously pictures from the show. Madison Square Garden with an actual picture from Madison Square Garden, which we never got. So I want those. And don't they have to do clam bake?
They have not done clam bake.
They could do The Wonderful World of Christmas. They put it on CD.
I have to kind of disagree with you on the Aloha. Because, they have done, as a matter of fact, this is a good segue, folks. We're talking about what happens when you reissue something over and over again. Show everybody the music on vinyls that they're doing now. Because now the music on vinyls, which are Sony BMG, now they're taking their label and now they're redoing them on colored vinyl.
This is the original Aloha from, I believe it's black vinyl. Okay, so they put this out. Then I saw this coming out. They did it. And I thought, okay, what's different? Okay, they put it's black vinyl, and I bought it, folks, because it has a different sticker.
For a piece of paper.
For a gold foil.
For a little sticker.
It has the gold foil sticker.
And what did you pay for it?
It wasn't cheap. $80.
See?
Well, remember, I bought a large jug of Vaseline a long time ago, so it comes in handy.
Yeah, well, it looks like...
Yeah, I'm still using it, folks.
Looks like...
And now this is the new one. This is yellow vinyl. This is limited to 2,500.
And this is the brand new one.
This is the brand new one. Their Music on Vinyl is doing 30 albums, 15 that are limited to 2,500 or 2,000, and then there's another 15 that are limited only to 500. There's another one of this coming. There's going to be a fourth. It's going to be limited to 500 with a different color. So there's a fourth of this. Here's two Elvis It Stacks.
And this was a lame album to begin with. I don't know.
Yeah, I never liked the cover.
The cover sucks.
This was 2,000 on blue vinyl. And then this was the new one that they just released. This is 2,500 on silver. So they just came out with this. Let's see, this was, I think, I think this one.
Wait a minute. Didn't they all have these black?
That was the second press. This was the first press. It was on a cult. This is on.
What's the sticker look like?
It's got the gold foil.
Okay, that's the first
This
one?
is blue vinyl. They put this on blue vinyl, limited to 2,000.
And then
they
black.
reissued it on black.
Yeah.
And then this is part of that new series. This is 2,000 on orange. So this was just out. And now there's another one of this that's out right now, limited to 500 on a totally different color. I think the ones that are limited to 500 are like a splash vinyl. They're different though. I don't have those. They're harder to get. These are widely released in the United States. These the ones that are limited to 500 are harder to get. This is the big movement in the trend in the collecting world.
The way collectors collected back in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s have completely changed. I think it's just a sad thing that's going on. And I know that somebody's going to watch the show and they're going to say, oh, but I didn't get the first album and I didn't get the... Okay, well, you didn't get the 1254 either. You didn't get Speedway Mono. You didn't get it. And you're not going to get it for cheap because it's rare. Now, we're seeing regular albums drop. You know, I mean, 1254, maybe not. I mean, the original mint condition. But look at all the albums, the American releases, ElvisRecords.com Facebook page. I go there all the time. And you see these guys going, look what I found. And they found like a super rare record, and I bought it for $10. And they're all excited. Somebody will say, oh, I got it. I got it for a steal. No, maybe you got it for what it's worth now. That's the problem.
No.
You know, so I just kind of predict that that's how the Follow That Dream is going to go.
Possibly.
And I'm disappointed.
If you overflood the market, you never know. I mean, there's just like I said, there's something for everybody. You can buy what you want. There's so many companies. But then, you know, like our friend Gary Brown says, well, thank God they're doing this. They're keeping Elvis alive.
It's good to keep Elvis's memory alive, but in the world of collecting, which is what this show is about, you know, it has effects on the collecting part of it. In my opinion, maybe yours too, two types of collectors. There's the collectors that collect because they know that down the road, these records will be worth something. And there's an excitement about finding a record that has the notoriety of being worth $1,000 at a garage sale for $10. Okay, that's the certain kind of collecting, right? So there's that kind, and that kind is the collecting we grew up with from the very beginning. Because remember, you said you started with reissues, and then you said, well, I want to get the originals, and you were willing to pay for the originals. Okay, try to apply that logic to Follow That Dream. Okay, so you paid a certain money, you get the reissues. Are you saying that maybe somebody's going to go, you know what? I want the original, and I'm willing to pay $1,000 for Blue Hawaii. And then you have the other collector who does it for fun. Now, if you do it for fun, and you got money to blow out your bazoo, and you don't care, then you can go and have fun. All right, and that's fine. I don't care. But I grew up a certain way, and I'm like I told Joe Tunzi, we're dinosaurs. You know, the old-fashioned way of collecting, and you know, doing the Presleyanna books and the values and supply and demand.
I see both sides. I can understand.
There's the one for fun, the one for potential value in the future, and there's the addict, the one, and I know many of them.
If I was a multi-millionaire, I'd be buying it all.
Well,
I would be buying it all.
And we know people like that.
Yeah,
so
I'd be buying more. I don't own, like I said, I don't own all the FTD books. I don't have them. I sold them. I had them. I don't have all the 5x5, all the concerts. I don't have all of that.
But what about the collectors that you know, have the money to do it and buy everything, and they put it in boxes and put it in their closet?
Well, yeah.
See, that's not me. I can't buy stuff and then just put it in a box and
hoard it away. Yeah, we know collectors like that where they have so much and it's just all stuck in closets. They never can look at it. They can never see it. They can't enjoy it. It's like that's just hoarding. That's not collecting.
No, it is. It is hoarding. Hoarding is exactly. So wait a minute. Now we've got a fourth category.
The fourth is
the hoarder.
Yeah.
We got the addictive person, the one who does it for fun, the one who does it for potential value, investment, and then we have the hoarder. And that is somebody who just buys anything and everything and just puts it away.
But I want to say this too. Let me say this. I buy this stuff and I enjoy it. It's fun. But I love Elvis Presley. I listen to him at least an hour or two every day. And I got to hear that voice. And I could not have made it through this life without knowing Elvis. I feel sorry for anybody who's not an Elvis fan. So don't, this is all the fun collecting. We're debating this and talking about it. But man, I love that man. And I can't wait to the day I make it to the next world. And I hope I have 10 minutes just to meet Elvis, shake his hand, give him a big hug, and say, I can't tell you what your life meant to me and your career and your music. So I want to get that out there, okay? That's the main thing we're talking about here, is really our love for Elvis and how much that man, his voice means.
I don't listen to Elvis every day, but I will say this. When I'm not feeling good,
you're down
I put on Elvis and I go back in time to when I was 10 years old and I walked in the store and I bought Roustabout and I heard his voice for the very first time. And it gives me a joy and a serenity that just hearing him. And then even watching his movies, even the bad ones. Well, wait a minute.
No.
Harem Scare.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I guess,
the filmmaker in me is like, well, come on, who came up with this? But I mean, there's something about him when you see him in concert and you see the footage, and now Carol will talk a little bit about Epic, which is coming out next year. We found out. I cannot wait to see that. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of stuff in there that we've seen, but there's going to be different camera angles. There's going to be different perspectives. Elvis is going to be telling the story. Baz Luhrmann has my total respect as not just as an Elvis fan, but as a filmmaker. What he did with the original film was amazing. And for those of you out there who say, well, it's not accurate. Okay. Well, this next one is probably going to be as close to accurate as possible because he's going to be using Elvis Presley's, our interview he did for On Tour, telling his life story, and Baz is going to cut it together so you get to see his life story. Now, those people that didn't like the other one, I can't wait to hear them say something bad about this one, because I don't think you're going to. I think you're going to get the accuracies that you did not get in the first one.
Elvis doing what he did at his best.
But they're going to have footage in it of him talking about the movies and about his career. It's going to be Elvis Presley telling his life story, which they kind of did with This Is Elvis, because remember they did Ral Donner, I think, was doing the talking, doing Elvis's voice. This is going to be the ultimate documentary on Elvis. So I have nothing but praise for Baz Luhrmann. I think it's going to be great, and I can't wait for that. I think we've covered just about everything I wanted to cover. I like how we got the categories of the collectors. Before I said 2, there's 4. 4 categories, and you almost fit every one.
Well, hey,
you got a little bit of every category.
Ever since I heard that man sing "Girl Happy" when I was 10 years old, 8 years old, this has been my whole life.
And you didn't know it was speeded up, did you?
No, I didn't know it was speeded up.
When he was singing like a chipmunk.
But it's like, hey, what can I say? It's my passion, it's my love, and that's it. So there's good. It's like anything. There's good and bad. And have I spent too much money here and there? I'm sure I could have done other, but I don't know. It's fun.
You and I don't agree on everything.
No.
We do. What I like about you, John, is you come down to reality every once in a while.
Yeah, well,
you go off into these tangents, and then every once in a while you'll come back to reality.
Well, I know it's kind of crazy. I mean, I know it's kind of crazy, but I was just thinking the other day when I was driving to the store, I thought, my God, I'm 66. And I'm excited because I'm driving to the store to buy the new Elvis album. And I'm thinking, I was 10 years old riding on my bike doing the same. I think, oh my God, I've come like full circle. I'm still doing the same thing. And with an excitement.
Wrapping things up on the FTDs. Again, I love the FTDs. I still think they've raised the bar. I'm just a little nervous about where it's going. I would prefer that they stayed with what they were doing, release every album. Okay, Aloha from Hawaii again for the 100th time. But I think they should cover the whole catalog. And then after that, if you want to go ahead and maybe reissue some things, once the whole catalog is done, that's fine. And especially doing it just because, from a collecting standpoint, from the value standpoint of collecting, just because some people missed the first ones, you're still not going to get the first one. No. Those of you who are buying the reissue for that sake, you're still not going to get the first one. So you're going to still be down the road. You're going to say, should I pay? Maybe I will pay $500. Who knows? Maybe you get a raise or you run into some inheritance money and you'll go and you'll pay $500 or whatever, however much money it is to buy the first Follow That Dreams, if they still go for that money. So I guess we'll see.
I know there's a lot of fans that said the same thing. Please finish the catalog. Come on, don't you want Aloha from Hawaii with an actual picture of Aloha from Hawaii on the cover? I mean, the CD set was beautiful. I hated the Aloha album, the original. It was horrible.
Well, you got 4 of them down there.
Yeah, I got, look at it. Look at it. I'm looking up. I got 4 of them. And I'm saying, look at this ugly son bitch. Look at this.
It's the same thing.
Now look at the back though is cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
shots from Aloha.
That's from the show. That's from the original show and everything. So, again, this was not from the show.
As you know, we showed the 69 box. I can't remember what the title of the album was, but the album was inside the box. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Prodigy, Elvis.
The Prodigy Returns or something.
Yeah, Prodigy.
Return of the Prodigy.
Yeah, Return of the Prodigy.
You saw that. The new album by Gravel Road is called In Concert. And I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do an unveiling or a unboxing here on the show. We're hoping to do that in the future, too.
I wanted to mention a fellow YouTuber, David Ward. I believe he's overseas. He's putting out 2 books on FTD, the Complete Listings, Volume 1 and 2. And everything that FTD has put out is going to be in these 2 volumes. And they're very detailed. They're very good-looking books. They have a lot of information, and they're broken down into categories. If they only get 6 orders, they're going to do 6. He said, if we get 600 orders, we're going to... So he said they're only going to print what they get the orders for. So that's why I think you have to have the order in by November 20th. But it's called The FTD World, and it's 2 books, and they list everything that FTD put out is going to be in these 2 volumes.
We're going to be giving away Joe Tunzi's new book. I said we were going to do it on the next show, but it looks like this is the next show. So we're going to do it on the next show. So maybe episode 54? Yeah, on 54 we'll do the drawing. So I'll mention again that if you're interested in winning a copy of the book, we will have a drawing on the show, the next show or future show. All you have to do is send your name to collectingtheking@gmail.com. You could win a copy of Joe Tunzi's book, and that's coming up in the near future. We're going to be at the Chicagoland Record CD Collectors Show on Sunday, November 23rd, at the Countryside Banquet and Conference Center in Countryside, Illinois, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that's going to be on November 23rd. Then the following weekend, we're going to be at the Northwest Indiana Record and Music Fair on Saturday, November 29th, at the St. Mary Hildebrand Hall in Griffith, Indiana, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So, John, that about wraps everything up.
Mostly I love the FTDs. Yeah, I know you do, too.
Yeah,
They've done great work, and I like Roger and Ernst are very, very nice people. They work very hard.
They are at the top of the bar, and they've done some fantastic stuff. So we're not here to put down FTDs. We're here to say we love FTDs. We just don't know where it's going, and we're hoping it doesn't go certain ways. I want to thank Johnny B for joining me on the show today and talking about FTD. Thank you for being here, John.
No, it was great to be here.
And I guess we're just about out of here. So instead of me saying, hey, I'm out of here, why don't you take the honors and you say it?
Well, what can I say, folks? We're out of here. Bye. Till the next show. Till we meet again. No, what Elvis said at the end. Till we meet again. Till we meet again, folks.